Our role as educator is to make sure that the impression is positive, permanent, and long-lasting. Every one of us, in our unique ways, change their world for better. We make sure that we prepare kids for life by understanding their individual needs and supporting them in the classroom to achieve their potential. That's why the central focus in a classroom is always students and learning. Assessment is a way to answer, are students learning what we think we are teaching? The underlying fact is that all assessment methods evaluate progress made by the learner so that teachers can support the students to reach their goal with rich, multidimensional, and timely feedback. To achieve this goal, we teachers use various forms of assessment like formatives, summative, in the form of written tests, quizzes, project work, exit tickets, and so on. The primary purpose of formative assessment is to provide evidences of learning and to identify gaps in understanding in teaching and learning process so that necessary instructional adjustments can be made to bridge the gaps. It's an ongoing process that helps students to identify their strengths and weaknesses. Whereas summative assessments are used to evaluate students' learning. Examples: a midterm exam, a project, test of a big chunk of syllabus, etc., which is used to inform attainment level of content knowledge. So the question arises, why technology? What is the role of technology in assessing student? Which links with my topic, assessment using technology. Technology can support assessment in two ways: as a tool and technology to assess the learning of students. The example of technology as a tool can be physical education department recording students playing a game and then analyzing their performance and giving feedback to individual students, or students recording videos or making presentations or Prezi for their oral assessment. Whereas technology to assess learning is when technology is being used for result computation, analysis, and giving feedback to students with teachers' input. Today, we are going to discuss all methods or tools that can be used to support assessment in a classroom. So, today's objectives are use of Google Forms for online quizzes and auto-grading, Socrative for formative assessments, plenary activities, and receiving feedback instantly for your lessons, Padlet for collaboration and group assessments, and use of infographics for concept synthesis. Albert Einstein said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." For knowledge is limited to all we know now and understand, where imagination embraces the entire world. I'm ready to share a few tools, and I know you will add your creativity and imagination to add flavors in it. So let's start with our first method, that is Google Form, which can be used for both formative and summative assessments. To use this method, we should have a Gmail account. Personally, I like the use of Google Forms as it allows users to create 9 different types of questions, which are text, paragraph text, option buttons, check boxes, list box, scale, grid, date and time. With that, you can also add images and videos. More choices gives the flexibility to the teacher to create a variety of assessment to suit the need of a learner. There are many add-ons available to support you, which allow addition of graphs, mathematical expression, etc. to the form. With each form, a spreadsheet is linked. You can see here. which stores students' responses when a student submits his answer and hence allow the teacher to analyze the result in various formats at his or her ease. Those who are not sure how to work with Google Forms can visit any of the links given on this slide and find tutorials or videos on the use of Google Forms. I am a big fan of Eric Kurt's webinar. Thanks to Eric for allowing me to add his link in my presentation. You will find a step-by-step tutorial on how to work with Google Forms in his presentation. Other option is my blog, where I have linked to various tutorials on Google Forms with the link to take the Google Basic exams. Google Forms allow you to prepare activities, assessments, which can be used for self-assessment, peer assessment, surveys, quizzes, and tests. Few examples where a teacher can use Google Form are for formative assessment at the end of each unit, for taking surveys of students regarding their thoughts, reflections, ideas on teaching and learning, to record book reviews, creative writing tasks at the beginning or end of the lesson, field trip reports, etc. Here I want to highlight the use of two add-ons which are very useful for teachers. One is GMath and second is Flubaro. GMath is used to create arithmetic expressions and graphical displays, whereas Flubaro is used for auto-grading of quizzes. Forms can grade a quiz automatically and can send the email to user with marks and the answer key. So let's discuss these two add-ons first. I'll take you firstly to GMath. This add-on is very useful for maths teacher, as there are many pre-built expressions given with the help of which maths teacher can create equations and complex arithmetic expression. This is an invaluable tool to create Google Forms with graphs and expressions. I have provided a link in the resource section of Google Doc, which you can visit and learn more about GMath add-on. You can see the various examples how a teacher can create different equations with the help of this GMath. Okay. Second add-on is Flubaro, which can support teachers a lot. As teachers, we prepare lesson plans, activities, teach, take assessment, mark them, moderate it, record students' result, grade them, give feedback, write reports, and many more. The actual task is even longer than that. So, when you don't want to compromise on any of it and want to give best to your students, Flubaro is very handy. With Flubaro, you can auto-grade your quizzes in less than 1 minute for whole class and can send emails to each student with detailed report of their marks. You'll see next screen, this is the example. A student will receive an email from Flubaro Grader where student will get the grade and the summary with the answer key. The benefits for student. Such kind of an email when a student receives, student can get the detailed feedback with the answer key. Student can learn from his own mistake. And whereas for teachers, the benefits are a lot. One, it's free and easy to use. It can save a lot of teachers' time and email grades and answer keys to students in one click. It analyzes the data, report low scoring question and low scoring student, make analysis and reporting quicker, also provide the average assignment score. The drawback of Flubaro is that it can only grade questions with one correct answer. And also, it cannot grade essays. Few examples where forms and Flubaro can be used in schools are, one as vocabulary test for languages, including MFL, math questions like choose the correct answer or short answer type questions, spelling test for languages, including MFL, One-word answer for subjects like science, history, business, geography, ICT, etc. Other than that, a lot of creative uses are in teachers' hand. So best wishes for Google Form. And before I move to my next tool, which is Socrative, if you have any doubt, please write your question in the Google Doc and the link is shared with you. Okay, the second tool. The second tool which I want to discuss is Socrative. You can access Socrative with this link. There's nothing more powerful in learning if a real-time feedback is given to students in classroom, and Socrative serves the same. It is a student response system which can run on any device with a web browser. Teachers need to create a login with their email ID and password, but students can join without logging in by entering a virtual class number given by a teacher and participate in various activities. Through real-time questioning and visual responses, teacher can grab the attention of whole class and involve student in an interesting and interactive learning process. When a teacher logs in, teacher gets a room number. This is the virtual room number. And teacher can use already saved quizzes or can ask a quick question and display students' responses in real time. For example, I want to know the level of my students while teaching. I can say the question loud, or I can write a question on the whiteboard and ask my students to respond using short answer type question. The three options which quick question gives us that we can ask multiple choice question, true and false, or short answer type question. If I'll go with this option, I can get a clear idea of my students' understanding without compromising with the pace of the lesson. Here you can see if I click on start a quiz, I can run any of the quiz which is previously stored. As the students submit their answer, teacher gets all responses on his or her screen and it gives a clear idea as who is on track. Also, there are many students in a class who don't want to say answer loudly as they are not sure of their answer. Socrative gives an opportunity to teacher to listen to all students, even the hesitant ones. It gives such students some anonymity and only you get to see their responses. In case of any crazy answer, you can maintain the dignity of a student by not sharing his answer publicly. You can also save a quiz or can run quizzes on either student pace or teacher pace. While the quiz is on, teacher can check the live results and track the progress of a student. There is also an option of fun teaching with Space Racer, where teams can take challenges and race against each other. There are many interesting and creative ways to use this tool once you understand it. For example, say as back channel, as a quiz competition in the class. There can be many different ways. It provides comprehensive whole class individual students report in the form of chart or PDF format, which makes tracking of learning easy. The last option of Socrative, my favorite one. This is a brilliant tool which is called Exit Ticket for plenary activities. A quick check at the end of lesson to see the level of understanding and learning of student. It asks the name of the student and 3 questions. First, how well you understand today's lesson? It's a multiple choice question. What did you learn in today's class? Short answer type question. And third is the teacher question, which can be specific to the content covered in class, which is again short answer type question. And teacher will get the live results like this, that what is the progress made by the student and the answer of the 3 questions which Exit Ticket has asked. So, what are the benefits for teachers? Teachers get a real-time data and feedback of the lesson. Teacher can download reports of students' responses in form of PDF, CSV file, as image, which can be further used for analysis. Very easy and engaging tool which saves a lot of teachers' time in class. And for students, the benefits are easy to use as no login required, no long URL to access this site, and the third one is freedom to use it on any device with internet connection. It is a powerful assessment tool which assists teacher in assessing his or her students' progress in an efficient and effective way. To know more about creative uses of Socrative, you can visit garden.socrative.com, and I have kept this resource in Google Docs. In case of any question, you can please share your question in question and answer Google Doc. If you are not able to write your question on any of the Google Doc or in chat box, you can send emails to me also, and I'll reply all your emails after the session. My next application is Padlet. Earlier it was called Wallwisher. It is a notice board style wall where participants can add sticky notes and images. A free tool again, which can be used for socializing, collaborative learning, and for formative assessment. Students don't have to register for an account. They need the URL or the QR code of the wall to post their comments. It allows collaboration in real time. Students can create visual mind maps and share their ideas. It gives a flexibility to teachers to change the layout once it is set up. See the example of Padlet in action. Teacher can lock the wall or make it password protected, or can hide the URL and hence maintain the privacy of post. This is a feature which I like a lot. If I don't want to make my wall public, Padlet gives that flexibility to teacher that teacher can make it private. The most useful feature is the control, which is in teacher's hand to moderate post, which means teacher reads and approves all posts before it appears on the wall. Once the wall is ready, teacher can print, email, or download as image, PDF, Excel file format. And students can post their sticky notes by double-clicking on the wall, which is again a very, very easy feature of Padlet. Now again, how a teacher can use this tool in a classroom for assessment or in general. Few examples are given on this slide, and also few examples are: you can post the essential question on the wall and ask students to respond using Padlet. Teacher can use Padlet for starter activity, where teacher can assess students' pre-knowledge on any topic. Source analysis with short answer type questions can be done using Padlet with whole class. For KWL activities, which is what you know, what you want to know, what you want to learn. For KWL activities also you can use Padlet. As back channel, especially when you're watching a video or presentation. For project work, where students or groups are posting their thoughts, reflections on the wall. For plenary activities like leave a ticket, exit ticket, the example which we have seen in the previous tool, or activities like 3 to 1, that you can ask what are the 3 things you have learned, 2 things which you are not clear, or any one key vocabulary with which you want to leave the lesson. It is a creative tool which allows students to share their voice, collaborate, and help teachers to bring high-order thinking skills with the use of technology. So I'll move to my last but not the least tool, which is infographics. This is an artistic way of assessing students. that is the infographics, an excellent tool for students to understand the connection between data, vocabulary, and other information. Or you can say it is a visual representation of information. Hence, it caters the need of all learning styles and engage them in learning process. It can be used to show what students know in an interesting way. I have kept all the list of sites in the resource Google Doc. That these are the various sites which can be used to create infographics. Different ways teacher can use it in their classes are: 1, to summarize the topic; to create a story with pictures, data, and vocabulary; to create timelines in history; for compare and contrast questions, and many more. It's a creative way to enhance visual thinking of students. Before asking students to create an infographics, it is very important that teacher explain how to create it and planning of it with students. It gives the students an idea that how to work with different tools given on these sites, and hence they can present their information in an, you can say, an aesthetic way or any interesting way they want to present it. Infographics have emerged as one of the popular tools to present your data and convey your information using graphs, pictures, images, and icons. So give wings to your creativity and rock and roll with infographics. Bill Nelson wrote in his article that formative assessments increases student success by focusing on students' learning, motivate and engage students to take responsibility of their own educational growth, and reduce learning and achievement gaps among students. Assessment with technology enhances 21st century skills, which are creativity, communication, collaboration, and critical thinking. As we have reached to the end of our presentation, I would like to encourage teachers to have their own digital toolkit for teaching and learning activities, according to their own subject demands. There are endless opportunities lying on the internet for a creative teacher who wants to fly with their kids in their world and provide them best of everything. I hope I've been able to explain few tools which can be used for formative assessment. If there are any question, I'm willing to answer. Here also I want to take opportunity to thank Rohan and Monica for participating in this hangout. And best wishes everyone. You can contact me on my email ID manisha.monga@gmail.com. All other my contact details are given on this slide. If you want to know more about the tools which I have discussed today, you can click on any of the link which is given on the next slide, and I'm going to share the URL of this presentation in resource section. Okay. Are there any questions? I can read the Google Doc. I've got 2 questions. One from Mumbai, that is, are there any other tools which can be used in assessment? Yes, definitely there are many tools. It's not that due to time constraint, though I have discussed only 4 tools today, but the tools which a teacher can use are many. Few examples I would like to share. One is Animoto, which is for digital storytelling, and the site is www.animoto.com. You can also use Zeption, which is for flipped classroom, very interesting tool where teacher can share YouTube video and post questions. iMovies or Windows Movie Maker, teacher can ask students to make videos. Teacher can also use Prezi, and the site link is prezi.com. PowerPoint for storytelling, and Powtoon also. Powtoon, very, very nice tool where students can create a hand graphics, and then that can come on the screen and it animates with your slides. And the second question is from John from Hong Kong. He says that, can formative assessment be graded? Yes, This is a debatable question, definitely. However, the idea is that whether you grade formative assessments or not, it should help students to understand what is missing in the knowledge. Basically, what I mean to say that when we take summative assessment, give me 1 minute, please. Okay. When you take summative assessment, then basically you are judging that what student has already learned. But in formative assessment, the idea is to tell student that what are the gaps to meet the objectives which you have set for your lesson. So it depends on teacher whether teacher wants to grade it or not. But yes, definitely whether you are grading your assessment or you are not grading your assessment, you have to give that feedback to a child that what he needs to do to bridge the gaps to reach to the end goal. Okay, again I got a mail, I got a question that how can I see this video again? If you're watching this video from YouTube, you can save this link, and I hope that Google will post the recording of this video there, so you can watch this video later from the same link. And otherwise, I think on YouTube you can search the assessment using technology by Manisha Monga, and you'll be able to see this video. Okay, my email ID is, another question is, you want to know my email ID. So my email ID is manisha.monga@gmail.com. manisha.monga@gmail.com. And with this, I would like to end my presentation, and I want to thank all wonderful people watching this presentation. Thank you very much. Any question, you're most welcome. You can post your questions to me. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.